Good morning. I hope your day is going great so far. My mornings usually start off the same way. I get out of bed, I go straight to my Keurig machine, and I make me a hot cup of black coffee. And while that cup is brewing, I'm off doing other things. And, this morning was no different, except one thing. So I get up, I go to my Keurig machine, I get it started, and I go off and do some other tasks. And when I think that my cup of should be ready, I go in there, and instead of finding a beautiful cup of coffee, I find coffee all over the counter and the floor because for some reason I forgot to put my cup under the Keurig machine. And let me tell you something. One basic cup of coffee go goes everywhere. There's so much more in that cup of coffee than what you think. Man, it was a mess to clean up. Well, anyhow, thank you for letting me vent for that for just a moment. But I wanted to make this video today because we had a friend, Becky, ask a question. And it was from the video I last posted about eating with purpose instead of emotionally eating. And when I was responding to her question, I realized that, this my answer was not just a yes or a no. Um, and so I wanted to make a video about it. And so here is Becky's question. This is her comment. Yes, emotional eating has become my comfort. I think about food most of my waking hours. All the food is high carb and sweets. I really need to break this addiction. Do you find that things like allulose or monk fruit, sweetened chocolate chips, keto fudge, and mud cakes just feed the addiction? Or can they just become a good way to have those foods with no sugar? And Becky, that is a good question. And if y'all just hang out with me, we're going to look into this. Hey guys, my name is Susan and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I have been living a ketogenic lifestyle for 1.5 years. You can catch up on my health journey by watching some of my other videos, which I will conveniently place somewhere on the screen at the end of this video. And guys, I don't ask too often, but if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. All right, well, the first thing I think is important to acknowledge about artificial sweeteners is that they're not the same thing as sugar. They are designed so that we can create little treats that we're used to indulging on the standard American diet. And these treats are sweet in likeness, but typically they don't spike your blood sugar. Now, if you are partaking in artificial sweeteners, I highly recommend that you do check your blood sugar before and then after you consume it for your first time to make sure that it's proper for your body. Uh, Artificial sweeteners may or may not spike you. Some people they do, some people they don't, and you won't know unless you test it for yourself. And even if you're not diabetic, I do recommend that. Testing your blood sugar, even if you're not diabetic, gives you a lot of vital information. It lets you know how your body is reacting to the foods that you're eating. Okay? But here's what's really important to know. Even if your blood sugar does not rise after eating that artificial sweetener, you need to know that you did have an insulin spike. Okay, take this ice water, for example, the sparkling ice water. It has 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and it is sweetened with sucralose. Now, if I was to drink this right now, my blood sugar wouldn't spike. I've tested it with ice waters before. My blood sugar does not spike off of it. However, I do get an insulin response because it has a sweet flavor to it. And that's how our pancreas works. It can't determine when you're drinking a sweet beverage or eating a artificial sweetener that that's what it all is. It's just an artificial sweetener. It just sees that, oh, there's something sweet coming in. Let me give you some insulin to deal with this. Okay. So regardless if you're drinking something sweet or if you're eating something sweet, even if your blood sugar doesn't move, your insulin will spike. Okay. And so that's why fat and protein are so satiating because they don't spike your insulin or blood sugar. It helps stabilize them. It's not because they're more dense or I don't know. That's how I used to think about it. But no, the reason why they're so filling and satiating and we can stay full for longer is because it stabilizes our blood sugar and insulin. Whereas, the artificial sweetener does not do that. It spikes the insulin, and when it goes up, it has to come down, and therefore we're hungry, and it makes us want more. Okay. And so, having said that, that brings me to my final thought and answer to the question. Well, do I think that artificial sweeteners keep people addicted to carbs and sugars? And my answer is yes. Yes, I do. And for two reasons. One is because, I've seen a lot of people testify to once they gave up the artificial sweeteners, they quit having those carb and sugar cravings. But not just that, but scientifically speaking, because of the insulin response, it makes you want more, it makes you crave more. And because of that, it does keep you addicted to the carbs and sugar. So if you are struggling with carbs and sugar cravings, I am more concerned about you throwing in the towel on a whole ketogenic lifestyle because of the cravings and how they won't go away. And I would recommend departing from the artificial sweeteners. Now, hold on, don't leave yet. I know that might be scary, especially since you're really addicted right now. But I have a couple of things that might give you some encouragement, okay? Uh, you know, Remember, I'm the little Debbie box gremlin, or I was. I used to eat the whole boxes of little Debbie snack cakes in one sitting. And guys, if that don't scream sugar addict, I don't know what will. And look, here's a great example. Last June, we did a 50th wedding anniversary celebration for my in laws. And it was a surprise party. And my job was to go pick up this cake from the bakery. And, I never was struggling with cravings, but I was scared to go in that bakery because I was afraid it would trigger my cravings for it. And, there was a time that when I would go into a bakery, I would just drool at all the smell of the sweet treats. And so here I was going into this bakery, and I went in there, and guys, I was really surprised to find that I could smell the sugar in the air as if the sugar was just lingering and hanging everywhere, and it stunk. Stunk or does it stank? Anyways, sugar actually stinks. I used to think it smelled great, but such is addiction, right? And so, guys, not only has my taste buds changed, my whole sensory has changed to these things. And I am confident if you'll just remove even the artificial sweeteners from your life for even just a time period, you're going to notice that your cravings will go down. It may take a few months, don't get me wrong, but I'm confident that, it's not just a one off with me or these other people who are testifying the same thing. I think there is a something to it. So if you will remove the artificial sweeteners from your diet, give it at least 2 months. And I think even in just that time frame, you're going to notice the difference. You may still have some cravings, but I think in just that time frame, you're going to notice a difference there. Now, in the meantime, what's going to get you from having the strong cravings to it getting better? And there's a reason why we say don't snack. It's because of the insulin response. But for now, if you try to fight both things, it may be too difficult. So for now, forget about the whole don't snack, don't eat between meals. What you could do is get you some bacon, cook it up, and put it in a Ziploc bag and carry that with you. Or you can do that with some hard boiled eggs, or maybe a mixture, whatever suits your fancy in that way. And then whenever you have that craving, I don't care if you just had your meal for the day. If you're having a craving for those sweets, eat some of that bacon, eat some of that hard boiled eggs, eat a little bit of both. Keep yourself full on that, okay? And that's going to reduce the urge and the likelihood of you giving in to those cravings, okay? And trust the process, okay? It's hard, I know, but it can be done. And I can tell you this, it will get better. And so, Becky, I hope that answers your question satisfactorily. And I hope that this helps you guys. And if you have any questions or concerns, or just want to comment, don't be afraid to leave a comment in the section below. Well, my friends, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.